Hello, folks, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe.Thoughts, here with your AEW Collision review for August 19th, 2023. On the road to All In 8 days from now, in which AEW has reportedly passed ticket sales past WrestleMania 32, which we know did not have over 100,000 fans in attendance. You know how WWE tends to overblow their attendance at times. Well, alas, it was only a mere over 8,000, and apparently AEW has exceeded that. So, All In is looking, as far as attendance wise, on the outside looking in for ticket sales, it's been a success. Obviously, it's got to be packed and it's got to be a good card, but All In is in 8 days. Here to talk about Collision, which I have to say was decent, flowed good, but I mean, that's the thing that's a bit irritating about Collision as opposed to Dynamite. Especially, we saw. Now, Dynamite left a bad taste in people's mouths in more ways than one, with how All In's card materialized, and if I had to guess, we might have gotten the last match for the card tonight finalized with Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, which that was taken care of in the opening segment, which we'll obviously get into. But the materialization of the card, the Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, theatric, the whole ensemble, just cluster of a match it was, and how it bled to the rest of the card. Did not feel well, but on Collision, it flowed better, and realistically, it was a better card, honestly. But yeah, we got Christian Cage, we got Luchasaurus, we got Darby, we got Hobbs and Miro kind of being, I saw that was basically made official for All Out. So that's something to look forward to. We got a couple weeks to go. As far as All Out. So it's going to be a bit strange because we got Luchasaurus and Darby. There's that. And we got Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. Two good looking matches. Obviously more to come. But yeah, it was all fair and a decent show tonight. Not really much to get into, but before the review. But thank you guys for joining me. Of course, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell too. Of course, help out the channel and stuff. And yeah, appreciate y'all for being here on the road to All In. I'm part of Fight for a Fallen. So, Collision start off with Samoa Joe. So, he even said, and what I like about Collision as well is they have most of the guys of the main things that are happening on the show for that evening. They cut their little promos like an old WWF style show, and Samoa Joe played best, as in he's looking for an answer for Punk off of choking him out last week in the main event against the House of Black. So Samoa Joe was out there looking for action. He was scheduled to wrestle the Golden Vampire, which was basically a guy dressed up in a conquistador outfit. Now, it kind of felt, you knew it was kind of fishy at the start. So, this guy, this schmuck, attacked Joe to start. He knocked him on the outside, took the fight to him, shoved the referee aside, and they got into the ring, and then, not for a sec, and then, next thing you know, he hits that running knee in the corner, and I'm like, wait a sec. And he hits a GTS on Samoa Joe. So next, clear as day, he unmasks himself as CM Punk, disguised in his, conquistador outfit. And while Samoa Joe is laid out, he has the microphone and says, in bold answer, I accept, bitch. Plain as day, simple, Samoa Joe caught CM Punk off guard last week. This week, CM Punk is the one that ambushes Samoa Joe. And there we go. And the graphic was put up later for Wembley. Samoa Joe for CM Punk. Now, I didn't have to recheck it, but it didn't say that it was for one of the real world title or not. That would be the fishy thing. See about that. Look, it's not Kenny versus Punk. It's not the match we wanted in the six-man tag with FTR, Kenny, or FTR and Punk versus Kenny and the Bucks. But alas, it still seems like we're getting the Bucks and FTR. I go over that thing in a sec, but as far as CM Punk and Samoa Joe goes, look, it's gonna be a good match. I'm not I'm not as hyped for it as I would if it was Punk and Kenny or the trios match. But alas, it's fun. It's gonna be a good encounter. So yeah, for Wembley, and I think 80,000 plus challenging Joe, and for CM Punk to make his entrance. I mean, yeah, but thing that happened on yesterday, and I knew something was fishy. But I checked over social media and I was like, huh. So, here's what I'll say. Cash Wheeler, according to what happened, got arrested for this. What the basic details were given so far. So Cash Wheeler of FTR, he got arrested for flashing a firearm to someone in a road rage incident. Now, alas, who knows what actually happened? Maybe Cash was in danger and just something felt like it was required for him to do. But alas, and apparently from another report that this may have happened weeks ago. And maybe Tony Khan was not informed of it. If not, maybe he knew, but it wasn't as detected as serious. And alas, until they got the details. But alas, he got arrested, and it wasn't a good look. I'll say that. It wasn't a good look for AEW ahead of their biggest show. That's what's going to be looked at in the headline. Unfortunately, no matter... Now, we have to see the details, but no matter what, people are going to look at that and be like, yep, that's not good. Not good. But, we'll see about the rest of the details. And the way it looks, think we're all optimistic that even MJF tweeted that, and they kept advertising it later in the show. That'll be FTR versus the Young Bucks Part 3 at Wembley. So, yeah. But I just wanted to comment on that. Give quick 2 cents about that. So, next we got arguably the best thing on Collision thus since its debut. And that is Bullet Club Gold. And, excuse me, with Jay White at the helm. So, we got Jay White, Bullet Club Gold versus Dalton Castle, who, is a part of Ring of Honor, former Ring of Honor World Champion. Alas, not of AEW, mainly. So, Dynamite, obviously I mentioned, but kind of thrown together, Bullet Club Gold and Takesha attacked Kenny Omega in Daily's place in Jacksonville. And sent Kenny Omega to the hospital, in which Hangman Page replied with challenge for Wembley 6-minute trios match with he, Kenny, and Ibushi versus Jay White, Juice, and Takesha. Now, alas, looking at the match, it's gonna be a unique sight, I will say. Because we have seen Hangman and Jay in the ring before for AEW Forbidden Door last year. And we're getting Kenny Omega and Jay White again in the ring. First time since New Japan. We're going to get Ibushi and Jay White in the ring again. And Takesha versus... We didn't see it a lot, but in Blood and Guts, we did see Takesha and Ibushi. Now we're going to see that quite again. And I'm curious how much Hangman Page and Ibushi will stick in with this Don Callis storyline, but we'll see. So, Bullet Club Gold was all out there, including the cutout of Jay, which is always a hilarious touch. So yeah, this match was fine. Fighting on the outside. Um, you know, Castle, he does have wrestling background. He did hit a few suplexes in this match. So, on the outside, and Bullet Club Gold surrounded Dalton Castle. And the boys came to the aid of their leader, Dalton Castle, and hit dive onto the rest of Bullet Club Gold in the ring. So, then back in the ring, Jay hit a big Uranagi on Castle for a 2. Castle went for the banger ring, but Jay fought out, went for a sleeper hold. Ultimately, the fight geared up, or the match geared up, and the finish came. Blade Runner by White for the win, and Jay White gets the victory. Afterwards, so Bullet Club Gold spoke about a bit afterwards in the ring. So, since they're facing the Elite some sort of fashion this week and at Wembley, Jay talked about how the Elite were basically convincing the crowd how they are the peak of Bullet Club. And that's not the case. How they are Bullet Club Gold, the better version. And talked about Kenny, talked about Hangman. Saying they have beaten them, or whether the, she's gonna mix my words, but talked about Kenny bringing his friends, whether it's Hangman, whether it's Bushi. We've beaten them before and we'll beat you guys again. So the Guns talked about how the Bucks had to cheat to beat them on Dynamite, but instead of giving them a rematch, they decided to bring in Kenny, and that's fine because they got friends of their own. And their friend is, quote, more juicier, more rock hard, and better all around in Juice Robinson. Because that's the trios match slated for Dynamite. And Austin was antsy, so he said, Tony Khan, now bring out 3 more guys because they're feeling a bit antsy for Fyter Fest to get ready. So, Iron Savages, who looked pretty good against the Acclaim last week, they were out there with their third, Jack Jameson, and decent match with Bullet Club Gold, but we knew where this is going. So, Boulder showed off his strength. He hit a power slam on. He basically stacked him up, threw Juice onto the guns, and then hit a splash for a near fall. In the end, the guns, they hit 310 to Yuma, and then Juice hit his implant DT, which I don't know if he has a name for it, but last Spike Jameson, 1, 2, 3, and Bullet Club Gold is ready for the guns, or ready for the elites on Wednesday. Malachi Black, he had a unique, eerie video package. So, I mean, these are so. Every time the House of Black, or even just Malachi, do a video package, it always comes off as eerie and just great. So, talked about Billy Gunn, talked about the claim taken from him, and there was like a trash compactor or something, and so he tapped Julia Hart on the shoulder, and this trash thing was about to smush up everything. And then next thing you know, you see the boots that Julia Hart and the House took from the Acclaim that Billy Gunn gave to him when he took off his boots and left him in the ring. So, you know, unique circumstances. I am curious because we've not seen Andrade in a couple of weeks. Now, with the LFI vignette we saw later in the show with, Jalisco and Preston Vance getting basically kidnapped, and Ruth said he wants badasses in his group, his faction. Well, maybe Andrade wants to reunite again with his friends. Or, we'll see. But yeah, it's been a bit strange how Andrade and the House went from their feud, and seemingly it looks like the House is self-feuding with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Maybe this is their idea for a short-term thing for All Out. Maybe because it's already too soon enough. It feels so. All In would just be worse. on an already packed card. So, yeah, I don't know. But next up, so Ricky Starks, he was backstage. So he was. Tony Schiavone talked about the events of last week, and Ricky Starks, he is. So, off to Ricky Starks now. So, Starks was backstage with Tony Schiavone, and Schiavone went about the suspension for Ricky Starks after his assault on Steamboat a couple weeks ago, and apparently there was a correction in the suspension. Schiavone initially said 30 days as far as wrestling, but now it's turned 28, which I'm guessing means that he will be able to wrestle at All Out, which is another wrinkle in this, I'd say it felt random and flawed, of course, for this. So Ricky Starks setup they're doing. So anyways, Stark said since he got his manager license, now until he gets to wrestle again, he will provide chaos to AEW. So, all of a sudden we see Big Bill and Starks and Big Bill. Now, mind you, Big Bill has his own theme music, but excuse me, because this storyline with Starks, they came out to his theme music, and for Starks was Big Bill's manager for Big Bill's match against some guy named Neal. So this was pretty short, and Bill won here, big boot and a choke slam for the win. So there's that. And after Sarge whipped this schmuck with his belt and so forth. So, I mean, not sure about chaos. And the thing is, last time we saw Big Bill, he and Brian Cage challenged FTR for the AEW Tag Team titles. And Yeah, this was short and academic. I mean, not really much to say. Uh, I love Big Bill. I love Ricky Starks. You know, both great. So wondering about the. This is just a thought. So, All Out is in Chicago. You know, the way they're going about this, Starks he's able to quote unquote wrestle again at All Out, according to this suspension being lowered. So, CM Punk is going to be on All Out in Chicago in some way. So, obviously, Starks mentioned Punk's name last week. So, maybe, just maybe, we get. So, we got Punk vs. Joe at All In. Maybe we get. See, it's difficult because you don't want Starks to take another L right now, another big L. But maybe there's some sort of match. Maybe Joe's including this and it's like a triple threat. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas, but Big Bill gets win with Starks in his corner. So they showed a video of earlier in the week, and I saw it and thought it was cool. So we know a couple weeks ago that Swerve and Air Fox ambushed Nick Wayne at his home at his training facility, and there was that. Apparently earlier this week, Fox has his own, place to train, and not sure if it's on his own school, but they ambushed Fox on his territory pretty much to get revenge for Nick Wayne. So, yeah. There's that. The coffin match is one of the few matches at All In that have story into it, and I like what they're doing. It sucks because Swerve and Fox really joined forces and really started just a couple weeks ago, but we'll see how the match goes. As long as it's a good match, I think that's all we can hope for. Willow Nightingale versus Diamanté. I mean, we love Willow. Obviously, she won the Owen Hart Cup for the women's side, and she's very talented. Diamanté, though, I mean, really, she had not been on TV in like a long time. And so, yet, just a couple weeks ago, she comes out randomly in this attack on Chris Statlander. Now she's in Collision, you know, it's very difficult to really care about them. I mean, just honestly to say. So, anyway, so short match here. So, Mercedes was in the corner of Diamante, and she was interfering. So Chris Taylor tried out there to take care of Mercedes, and next thing you know, Will took the rest and got a Dr. Bomb on Diamante for the win. So, there you go. Will gets the victory. And Mercedes looked on, helping Diamante, and said she and Chris have unfinished business. Like a promo a bit out of Mercedes Martinez before we get, say another match. Probably happens at All Out, but maybe a four-way match. Well, who knows? Since there's a four-way match at All In for the women's title, maybe we get a four-way between these four at All Out. I mean, I would rather see just. I mean, I could see it, but I don't know. Like I said, at least they're trying to book some story or something with the women. So, I mentioned earlier my 2 cents about the whole Cash Wheeler incident, the early stage of it, and we had going into last night, or going into Collision, one of the big talking points was FTR because of the incident, and was effect at all it may have on the tag team title match versus the Young Bucks at All In. We don't know, but yeah, it's certainly there. You really quick, but nonetheless, okay. So Anyways, so FTR was not presently on the show. We had just a video package of them and the Young Bucks, documenting their history amongst the two matches, the rivalry up until this point, and gearing towards All In, which should be fun. But apparently there'll be a face-to-face between the four and Dynamite on Wednesday. So there's that. Toni Storm. She is... It's hilarious. She's really channeling this depressed, unhinged, Marilyn Monroe gimmick. Which, is a bit of relief because, look, the Outcasts, it's sad to say because they have not done much since their existence. I mean, it's tough because, Toni, yes, it's good. She won the women's title again, but the way it seems, that was basically just because Jamie Hayter got injured and still remains injured. And it sucks that she's going to miss Wembley. That's just fact. But yeah, Jamie's hurt, I mean, she lost her title to Shia. I mean, Ruby Soho lost the Owen Hart Cup tournament finals versus Willow. I mean, Saraya, she hasn't done much since her debut. I mean, it's pressing, but this little gimmick she's got going on is better than what she's been originally doing. So, appreciate that. But yeah, I can see it. I mentioned it for Dynamite. Yeah, I can see the women's four-way going a couple ways. Just because, look, they're in front of their largest crowd. And who knows when they'll be in front of a crowd that large again. So, I mean, she could win, Britt could win, Saraya, just because we know how Tony Khan and AEW loves to give the talent their hometown, home state moments. So, I mean, could see that. The only one I don't see really winning is Toni Storm. But I mean, would I be that surprised? I mean, I would be surprised because he just took the title off her only to win it back at Wembley just a few weeks later. That would be different. So, we'll see. Powerhouse Hobbs. He went one-on-one with guy who I do not remember his name. Basically, it was a squash match. Spine buster. That was it. Afterwards, to get Miro's attention, he locked in the game over on this poor guy. Miro didn't arrive in person, but he did send a message on the big screen, the Titantron. So, Miro talked about, how he also used to rely on a book. Talked about All Out, Collision there. He said he may be godless, but he knows Hobbs ain't because he prays to him. And there's that. And talked about redemption as well. Well, this is going to be Clash, certainly, at All Out. If it's a great match, hope it is. These are two guys I do not want to see losing, but as long as it's a great match and as long as both are in something, that's something we can appreciate. Yep, looking good so far for All Out in Chicago. Main events. Kind of was hoping this would be the match for All Out, but that's not the case. So, but this was very good between Christian and Darby, because we know how Darby, can take a beating, and Christian Cage, seemingly in his new role, has kind of reinvigorated himself, which I can appreciate. So, really picked it up towards middle of the match. So, Christian versus CT went for spear, no avail. So, Luchasaurus was on the outside. Darby, if he's unbalanced, I get trying to take him out if he's unbalanced. But reality is that was not a chance. So Luchasaurus caught him. basically threw him into the barricade. Darby ducked under and went after Christian. A big lariat on the outside. While the referee was tending to Luchasaurus because he got involved a few times. So Christian was set up on a chair, and Darby hit missile dropkick to Christian on the outside. So again, nice spot. So Darby, because he's a maniac who will put his life on the line, went for a coffin drop. And Christian, Darby looked like he didn't care, but look, Luchasaurus is right there. So, for Darby to just not like, wait a sec. He could very well pull him out of the way, and that's kind of what happened. Darby went for a cough drop on the apron, but missed Christian as he was pulled out of the way. So yeah, brutal. So dang it, I lost my notes. One sec. Oh, there we go. So again, more theatrics, but Christian got the TNT Championship, hit Darby with it, got rid of it for a near fall. Christian was kind of mocking Darby with the TNT Championship. So they're on the top turnbuckle exchanging. So Christian hit a nice sunset flip powerbomb on Darby, followed with a spear for a very good looking near fall. So Christian went for the kill switch, but Darby with a sniveling like cutter or counter rolled up into a jackknife and covered Christian for the win. Afterwards, knew it was going to happen. A beatdown from both Christian and Luchasaurus. So ultimately, after a chokeslam from... So Tony Schiavone got in the ring and beat down by both. So afterwards, Christian covered Darby and they ordered Schiavone to count the 3 count and declared Christian Cage as still the TNT champion. As Christian Cage was on Luchasaurus' shoulders. Jeez. Great stuff to end. So, excuse me. So yeah, alas, Collision flowed better and felt better than Dynamite again after the way it kind of put a weird taste in people's mouths. But Collision was better, and Dynamite, the lineup seems to be better, as next week is All In week. Yep. So Wednesday Dynamite as fall. So we got ahead of the same Stampede match at All In, which we still have 3 partners of the Blackpool Combat Club to figure out. So we got John Moxley versus Ray Phoenix. That should be good. The Elite versus Juice Robinson and the Guns. Good little matchup to prepare for All In. Also, Scott Blue versus Ruby Soho. Rematch of the Owen Hart semifinals. A couple matches I'm curious about. So we got Swerve and Fox versus Darby and Nick Wayne. So 3 of the 4 combatants in the coffin match. My Sting. That's my only gripe. So Jack Perry to retire the FTW Championship. I imagine Hook, if I had to guess, will make an appearance. Aussie Open for the Hardys. Should be better than FTR and Bucks face-to-face interview. Renee Paquette speaks with both Adam Cole and MJF. And we got Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay's contract signing for the match All In. So, yeah, better lineup for this week's Dynamite. Should be good. Better. You know, in a weird way, I kind of want All In to just happen because I can tell, there's Nick just feeling with the build and how it's going to go down. But as long as it's a good card and, just goes well, then that's what we can appreciate. But anyways, guys, that's it for Collision tonight. But if you're not, I will be back for Dynamite review on Thursday, so keep out for that. But thank you guys all for seeing me with this review. If you did like this video, be sure to click that like, subscribe if you're new as well. Final videos on the channel. But last, thank you guys. Be safe. Have rest of the week. Adios. As well as peace.